Hey everybody, Liz here again. I hope you guys are enjoying the Crock-Pot group so far and that you're finding it super valuable. Just make sure that you check out the recipes file in this group that's where I'm posting, pretty much copying almost every single recipe that you guys are posting onto that. And then by this Friday, I will turn it into a PDF document. That way you can actually print it from your phone. Just kind of pick and choose the ones that you like and want to try. They're not all super healthy, but that's okay because we can make modifications. If there's one that you're like, hey, I really want to try that, but I want it to be healthier, I want it to be low carb, I want to reduce the sodium, whatever it is, reach out to the person who invited you into this group and they would be more than happy to help you make those modifications. But I want to get into some slow cooker crock-pot hacks and tips today. One of the first things that most people kind of have issues with is that the food gets stuck to the crock pot, and that's not fun, and then you have to soak it forever before you can actually wash it. So there are a couple different things that you can do. The first one is obvious, just spray it with some sort of cooking spray to help the food not to stick. But my favorite way is actually liners. They make crock pot liners. Here are the ones that I have. And this is literally it's what it looks like. So, and then you just open it up like this, stick it in your crock pot and put the food in. And then when you're done, it's super easy cleanup. You just lift the bag out and throw it away. If there is something that you're cooking in there that is a little bit more delicate and you don't want it to fall apart and while you're pulling it out, say like a fish or a salmon, or maybe you're making an omelet or some sort of breakfast casserole, for that I would say just to put like a piece of parchment paper down in the bottom of it. That way you can easily just lift that up and then lay it out that way. That's going to be a little bit easier than even the bag for that. And then the next thing is, and I did this last night and I'll show you a picture of it below in the comments, and then also the video. Kim Chapman shared this video on my Facebook timeline, and I thought, this is genius, I have to give it a try. But say you have people in your house that maybe are on two different dietary restrictions, or maybe your kids are really picky and they don't want their food to touch, or you just want to make two separate dishes that can't be mixed. Maybe it's two different dips, or for instance, this morning or last night, I made two different oatmeals. I made a pumpkin oatmeal and the apple cinnamon oatmeal, and I don't want those to mix. So you just take a piece of aluminum foil, fold it, and then stick it down in. But you need to have the liners for this in order for it to work. So stick that down in the middle of the crock pot, put the liner in, and then dump your ingredients in, and they don't mix. It worked out absolutely perfect this morning. Again, I'll show you a picture of that in the video down below in the comments. But that's the second hack or tip that I want to share with you. And then finally, the third one, and I think this is the one that we all have issues with or have had challenges with, and that is the timing of it. So say the recipe that you're cooking calls for 5 hours on low, but you're out of the house for 8-9 hours. I mean, what do you do, right? You could probably take your crock pot into work with you and do it that way. But if your work environment doesn't allow you to do that, or you feel kind of weird doing that, there are different things you can do. So for instance, I know for me, I make sure if I'm doing an overnight dish that requires 7 hours, like the oatmeal, I already know that I'm gonna get up around a certain time the next morning. So I make sure to start the crock pot within that window. So for instance, if the recipe calls for 7 hours, I start it at 10 o'clock at night. That way I know, I turn it on at 10. That way I know at 5 o'clock it'll be ready to go. And it actually motivates me to get out of bed so I don't have burnt oatmeal in the morning. But another thing you can do, and this is what we love, is a programmable crock pot. And this, it comes in different prices based on the size and the functions of what it does. But basically you just set the timer on it. And then once the timer goes off, it automatically switches to the warm mode. Again, I did this morning with the oatmeal, and it was fantastic. It wasn't too hot, and it wasn't cold. It wasn't too overcooked. It was perfect. And then the third option, if that's not an option for you, then the third option is just to get a lamp timer, like a light timer that you would get at Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, wherever, that you plug in to your lamps. Maybe you're going out of town and you set them on a timer to turn on at this time and to turn off at that time. Plug that in to the outlet, plug your crock pot into that and set the timer, and then it'll be done. It'll just shut off. That's the only thing is that if your crock pot is set to shut off at 5 o'clock, but you don't get home until 8 o'clock, you might have to reheat your meal. So that's the only downside to that. But hopefully these are helpful for you. I would love to know any tips that you guys have. Comment below with those so we can all benefit from that. And then later on this week, we will get into some freezer meals and also what to look forward to next. Maybe you've really enjoyed this group and you want to get more out of it. We will give you more information about what you can do next to help you take more steps and baby steps towards living that healthier lifestyle. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.